mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father, but why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm aiming them. Enemies, I'm the enema. I'ma on them just like my keys, drop my on the dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not into you. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamonds.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolute phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On first down, it's Patton, and he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense. It's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
Here we go on 4th. Watson completes it right side to Cooper.
And he's going to pick up the Browns first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Patton. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 16, Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sand. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job.
And he's going to go down again. And that'll bring up 4th down and a big sack and a loss of 5. York able to send this one through, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Brissett. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Browns. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air, taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never went crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ten 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Brissett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up the 1st and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down now, it's Patton, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Brissett. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Touchdown, Houston.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's a gain of 35.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
On first down, it's Watson.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Watson on first down. And that is taken in by Njoku. Touchdown! Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down.
And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Cleveland. 66 yards.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
They'll run on first down. Patton, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He'll try again, and this time he'll run into a wall right at the 4-yard line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Here's Watson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. York able to send this one through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So the completion gets him just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well diced. Offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And they'll be set up with great field position as this is going to be touchdown right at the 40-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Brissett. And that is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Brissett. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take over here up near the 40. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Watson. He's going to air one out. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Texans are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there? Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Brissett. Throwing right, and that's complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll throw now on the final play. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Browns take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Give to Pierce.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Brissett. Going right side here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Watson now to throw. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, 27 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now a handoff for Pierce.
And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Brissett now. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Touchdown! Nico Collins. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead down to 20. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now, let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Brissett sets to throw it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You know, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 165 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 1st down, Brissett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Browns will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent. And sometimes...
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20. From the red zone now, Watson. Right back to Njoku. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Again, it's Watson. And they're going to to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Watson.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will actually break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struck.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Set to throw for it on fourth. He's going to take another shot here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
On second down, it's Patton, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
The Texans here on third down putting an extra defender in the secondary. A shotgun snap for Watson. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Patton. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Back to throw, Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Throwing now, Watson.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Browns, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-2.